The seventh Dollhouse episode, Echoes, starts to build up momentum toward the season finale, with a look into Caroline's backstory. The thing with Dollhouse is that who a person originally was sheds light on who they really are, which will come out even with mind wiping and imprinting. We get a taste of what our protagonist used to be to find out what she's heading towards. It starts out with the Dollhouse receiving a visit from Clive Ambrose, representing the Rossum Corporation. The Rossum Corporation controls the Dollhouse. He describes this new psychotropic drug called N7316. N7316 has gotten loose on this college campus, and they need an army of actives to regain control of the situation. Because the mind wiping puts a memory block in the area of the brain affected by the drug, he believes that the actives would be immune. Topher sends out Victor and Sierra to lead a bunch of actives there, while Dollhouse security assists, and Topher experiments with the drug on November at the Dollhouse. Victor also shows obvious attraction to Sierra despite being an imprint. While the Dollhouse has their attention focused on that, very little attention is paid to Echo. Echo is playing out the same romantic scenario as in the first episode and with the same guy. Unlike the minor character of the last episode, this guy just comes off as a pervert. A technical glitch with the TV brings up a news broadcast describing the events at the college. It turns out that this is the same school that Caroline went to, and a memory is triggered. Echo obsessively pursues this memory, completely abandoning the client, who's in bondage and can't raise an alarm. When Echo arrives, Victor figures she's someone on the drug because she's acting so strangely. He takes her to a treatment area where she starts talking to this guy named Sam. Sam describes how he thinks that the evil Rossum Corporation is to blame for this drug fiasco. Echo realizes she knows the way into the Rossum building, so they run off to gather evidence against Rossum. Boyd follows Echo to the school and tells DeWitt what's up. Adele instructs him to get Echo out of there to keep her from messing things up. A drugged-out woman hassles him for a moment, and he pushes her hand away, coming into direct contact with her skin. As it turns out, the drug's effects can be spread like a virus through direct touch. Boyd gets to Echo and Sam, and he asks her if she wants a treatment. This is a trigger phrase used by the Dollhouse to make an active compliant, and willingly agree to go back to the Dollhouse.
You ready for your treatment?
I think it's time.
Audrey, time for your treatment. Are you ready for your treatment?
All right. Mr. Dominic will take you down for your treatment.
I need a treatment. Would you like to have a treatment?
No.
Echo completely rejects this trigger, but fortunately Boyd is too drugged to really care. He just wanders off and starts practicing piano. The drug soon spreads to the other Dollhouse employees. Dominic starts suffering from the effects, and Victor has to take his gun away. Back at the Dollhouse, Topher gives November a high five, and then he touches Adele to demonstrate how the drug effect could spread through physical contact. Thanks, Topher. Topher advises Victor to keep charge of the situation because he and the other agents will be immune. He says it's because of things the government did to them, which Victor seems to buy. However, it turns out that the drug does have some effect on the actives. It eats through their mind wipes, allowing for what Topher calls glitching, where the actives will experience realistic traumatic flashbacks. November flashes back to being Melly and rejected by Ballard. Victor flashes back to being in the Iraq War as Tony, and Sierra flashes back to Hearn raping her as Sierra. Meanwhile, Echo remembers more and more of Caroline. Through flashback, we see Caroline as an outspoken liberal activist. A lot of feminists dislike how they portray her as harsh and unlikable. I agree it's a stereotypical role without much depth, but I don't think her personality is so different from a lot of real activists. I mean, stereotypes are based in some truth. She's just all about the politics, so either you agree with her and like her, or you don't. I disagree with some of her politics and her sense of justice, but her basic personality is about wanting peace and freedom for all, and taking every step to bring about that justice. As we find out later, this goes to unsavory places, but that core element of wanting freedom for all is what drives Echo. It is her quote-unquote soul. I think Caroline's likability might be one of those issues where if she was male, you wouldn't care as much. In any case, Caroline was this extreme animal rights activist who decided she, her boyfriend, and their two friends were going to illegally film animal testing in the Rossum building in order to get people motivated about animal rights. I'll point out that this is wrong, and what they should do is track down a disgruntled former employee to describe the situation, maybe make a dramatization. The friends initially seemed interested, but they backed out when they realized Caroline was actually serious. The boyfriend went along with it though, and they set out to break into the Rossum building the way that Sam and Echo do in the present. The drug basically takes the Rossum building security out of the game, and Echo and Sam easily make it to the lab where the drug is kept. Sam finds it really fast. It's revealed that he's responsible for getting the drug out, trying to sell it to a rival company in order to financially help out his mother, and he murdered his partner who tried to back out. He tries to poison Echo with an overdose of the drug, but this just causes her to glitch a lot. She remembers Caroline and her boyfriend discovering Rossum was working on some creepy stuff with human brains and fetuses. The security then came after them with deadly force. The boyfriend was killed, but Caroline escaped. This memory motivates Echo to run after Sam and stop him. Boyd comes out of the drug state and helps her out, taking her back to the dollhouse. Sam is later seen being persuaded by Adele into becoming an active. Echoes is primarily humorous, with Dollhouse employees acting wacky, yet plenty of dramatic stuff happens as well. As Boyd only comes in at the end, it's another case of Echo being victimized by a man, and then her rising up to take him down. In addition to the standard feminist plot, we are shown the backstory with Caroline, in which Rossum is explicitly referred to as evil by the protagonist twice.
I want to say evil?
Yeah, you really do.
Oh, the Rossum Corporation is evil. I told you Rossum was evil.
The glitching further shows how Rossum's mind control technology is imperfect, and that the actives will eventually rebel. We are with the actives, not the Dollhouse staff. So we are with the actives as they rebel. The story is ultimately about the importance of liberation, not slavery. This will be more explicit in the next episode.